Hey, it's Allison Steinberg, your host, and I'm here just to welcome you to Estheticians in Business, the podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to Estheticians in Business, the podcast. I am so excited you are here because this week we're going to be talking about probably the number one topic ever in the history of ever that has to do with being an esthetician, a solo esthetician, a business owner, all the things. And that is how to get clients 101. Okay. Why what you're doing isn't working or why you're frustrated. We're really going to break that down because, guys, let's be honest. Okay. If you're a solo esthetician, and honestly, if you don't want to hear some real talk right now, I would say log off because I'm going to go hard because I am don't forget, guys, I am a business coach. If you're listening to this, I coach women, business owners, not just women. I coach business owners, estheticians on how to get clients. Like that is my thing. I teach you how to maximize your business, how to make more money, how to price, how to break through some mindset stuff. And I'll be honest, sometimes breaking through some mindset stuff means I got to be a little harsh. So, this is what we're going to do, okay? If you're not getting clients, it's probably not because the industry is saturated. It's because you don't really have a get client getting system, okay? And no, I'm telling you right now that posting randomly is not a strategy. And I'm looking at the camera when I say this, so I want you to feel me looking at you. But just posting on Instagram is not a strategy. You have to strategize around that. And a lot of people think it's like something in depth. It's not, okay? And so we're going to work through that today. Getting clients is actually fairly simple. But most of the time, estheticians are missing at least one piece, okay? You have your visibility. We have like three parts here: visibility, clear offer, and a conversion. And we're going to be talking about what most people ignore: traditional versus non traditional marketing, because you need to do both. And now you guys have to remember, I try to make my verbiage as, I guess, less like I went to business school conversation, but it is really trying to also make you understand that there are so many ways to market. And so you do have your traditional marketing. And your traditional marketing, I guess, is starting to move into like the norm of like social media. But your traditional marketing, guys, is also the other things like talking to people in person. So we're going to talk about that today, okay? So, once again, if you're not here to hear it, this might not be the podcast for you, but we're going to do it. Okay. Know that I love you and that I am giving you a hug. Okay. If you're one of my students listening to this and I'm coaching you currently, you already know I'm looking at you. Okay. So, anyways, before we hop into that, guys, I wanted to update you really quickly because some of you guys asked me about my little baby. I have two little babies, but one is bigger than the other. And one is like 2.5, and the other one is 7 weeks tomorrow. So I'm recording this on Tuesday. Her weeklies are on Wednesday. And it's wild to me. I am going back to the gym, which let me tell you is so flippin' humbling, going back to the gym and moving my body in the way that I used to. I can tell you I can breathe better. That's for sure. I walked uphill on the treadmill today and I was like, "Oh, I can breathe doing this. This is crazy. There's not a baby on my lungs." That was crazy. But let me tell you, not being able to move my muscles towards the end of my pregnancy, because if you guys remember, I was on the verge of going preeclampsia, like preeclamptic, really is what's called. And which means my blood pressure was really high. And when your blood pressure gets too high in pregnancy, you have to be induced or have a C section. And so the big thing is they didn't want me to do tons of activity that would bring up my blood pressure. So I literally walked on the treadmill for like 6 weeks at 1.5. And so doing things like lifting, moving my body again has been quite interesting. And on top of it, I'm sure you guys are gonna love this, especially if you're not to scare anybody. Birthing a baby is crazy. And because my birth was so fast, if you want details, just message me. My daughter's birth was so fast, my abs, so my lower part of my abs tore, they think, inside me, right? And so I've to have they think a torn muscle. I didn't have any separation, but I definitely have it hurts. And so I have to really be careful with what I'm doing. So everything's a lot slower, which makes me sad because if you knew me prior to being pregnant, I was super active, working out all the time, just active in general. And I love living a healthy life. And so it just is very hard going from that to being able to not do a ton, right? When you do have no baby inside of you. That is what's happening in here. Also, guys, I share a lot of this too and more on Estheticians in Business Weekly, which is my newsletter. I actually kind of go into pretty some fun detail and you guys get to see pictures and stuff. This last one, if you got to see last week, I had a picture of me pop lock and dropping it. So for my millennials out there, you already know. Do that thing, mommy make it roll. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I was on a beach and I was asking my husband to take a video of me to kind of get some content and I just started dropping it and he was like, "Good God, what are you doing?" So anyways, let's move on from that. Let's talk about marketing, okay? And if you're listening to this podcast, right? This podcast is essentially a version of what I'm going to talk about. It's about visibility, okay? And the idea is that you're getting in front of more people as much as you possibly can. Because you got to remember your net work is like your net worth, okay? So the more audience you have, audience is currency. The more people you're in front of, the more people are going to want to work with you, the more people you're going to be exposed to. So you have to get out there and talk to people. It can't just be a thing where you're just hiding behind, I use word of mouth. Word of mouth is wonderful. You can maximize it, but especially when you're just starting, it can't be the only way you're going to do it or you're going to struggle. And I'm not saying like you shouldn't struggle. I believe that when you go up too fast, you're going to come down even harder. So you need to struggle. Yes. But we also have to understand that you have to do other things. And sometimes you have to go hard. Okay. You have to like get in there with your business and talk to people at the beginning, especially if you're someone who wants to like expand, right? Who wants to grow, who wants to make the real money you can as an esthetician. So you have to remember if no one is booking, we're not going to be starting with your pricing. We're going to start with the fact that no one is seeing you. And this is just proof in the pudding, guys. Okay. Chocolate pudding. Oh my gosh, that makes me think of it. Guys, oh my gosh, if you're listening to this, right? Obviously, you're listening to this. I have to go dairy free because my daughter can't handle dairy for whatever reason in my breast milk. And I don't know if you guys ever notice what's in, like, everything has dairy in it. So if you just see me suddenly just be extremely skinny, it's because I can't eat a lot of the things I usually enjoy. So that just made me think of that. Anywho, the pudding part. I don't even know if pudding has milk in it or dairy in it, but I'm letting you know that's what's happening. So anywho, okay, back to the game. Okay. So this makes me think about I literally today I had a student message me because yesterday we had a coaching call and she was telling me about how she wants to hit certain numbers. And I'm like, okay, we have options to this. She's very limited in the time she can work. And I'm like, we can raise your prices. You can take more clients in a day, or you can expand how much time you're going to work throughout the week. And we're working on her getting to $10,000 a month, working 3 days a week. And when you break that down, it's really not that much, right? It's really like your average ticket has to be like $160. And then you have to see 11 clients in a week. Like it's not that much. And so we were talking about that. And I was like, you need to make sure that your average ticket is that. So either you can choose to raise your prices and she's like reformulating everything, like changing how she's running everything. Anyways, I sent her a formula of like how to figure out what your pricing should be based on the life you want to live. Also what your overhead is, also like how much it costs to like do your products and profit and stuff like that. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, like my average like I could be paying myself like take home every facial $75." That is huge. Majority of us aren't doing that. And the thing is, people are willing and able and paying that, okay? And so it is just beautiful and just like so exciting for her. But the thing is, she is getting in front of so many more people that the people that don't want to pay the higher price, they don't really matter because the people that she's seeing that she's putting herself in front of want to pay that higher price because they want her. So you have to remember that consistency and visibility is where it matters. So when you're having like those bursts of motivation where you're just like, oh, I need clients, here we are. You're actually just really burning yourself out. It's consistency that matters. Think about this, right? This podcast, I have been showing up weekly in this podcast for a year now. Okay. I have like almost 100 podcasts out, and I have people that reach out to me that have been like, I've been following your podcast forever. And then they become students. And I have people that found my podcast, then found my Instagram, then became students. And that's the thing. It's just consistently showing up. I'm consistently showing you that I know what the heck I'm doing. And so that you build trust and that you purchase. That at the end of the day, yes, we're all here to make money. Let's not, piddle paddle around that. But like the idea is consistency. So consistently showing up on Instagram. And my student from yesterday, she was like, yeah, I'm actually showing up on Instagram. And I tried to hide my face, but I couldn't. And she's like, I know. She's like, I'm consistently posting on my Facebook group and people are choosing to book with me because they're trusting me. And that's the biggest thing is when you are showing up consistently over and over and over again, people are going to trust you. Nothing goes void. So if you post something and one person sees that, maybe that was the post that person needed to see to choose you, right? And so maybe that's a person who's going to tell their friend. Maybe it was practice for you to just get out there. So that's the thing I would just encourage you is to, especially if you're new to this, is to choose something to be consistent on, whether that's in Facebook groups, whether that's your own Facebook group. Maybe it's on Instagram. Maybe it's at a networking event, right? How many people join a chamber of commerce, go once, and then never go again? Like you have to consistently show up over and over and over again. Visibility is what is going to create opportunity. Silence is going to create empty books. You have to remember that. Literally, my sister in law has a sourdough business, and we were talking about it. She's like, yeah, I just took like the leftover sourdough and cookies and stuff she had for the market to like her bake. And they were so ecstatic. And did they buy anything after that? Not yet, but they followed her on Facebook. She showed up there. She showed their face. They're like, oh my gosh, where are you going to be so I can come out and buy more? Like, guys, this is where it matters. Showing up visibly in different places is going to create opportunity, but you have to do it consistently. It doesn't mean you have to go everywhere. You just have to be visible in some of these places over and over and over again. Now, part two is we're going to talk about your clear offer. If I land on your page and I don't know what you do within 3 seconds, I'm going to be leaving, right? Stop trying to serve everyone. I'm going to talk about my student again from yesterday. We have been coaching exclusively together since I want to say September, October timeframe. And we have been really focusing in what she is going to be known for, her clear niche, what she loves, what she wants to focus on. Because us as estheticians, guys, this is a massive industry. I technically can perform waxing, lashes, nails, facials, body contouring, all the things, right? Should I be doing those things? Politely not. Okay, because I wouldn't be known for whatever it is. And like when I hear people, they're like, yeah, I do makeup and I do this, and I do this, and I do this. In some senses, that can work. But you have to be known for something, or what are people going to go to you for? You wouldn't go to your doctor for dental issues, right? You go to your dentist. And then your dentist, if you need braces, is going to refer you to an orthodontist. And if you need to go further, they're going to refer you to a surgeon. Like a brain surgeon isn't going to be doing plastic surgery, right? And so these are the things you have to realize because when you say that you're actually helping people, what does that mean? I offer a customized facial. Okay, what does that mean? Are you improving fine lines and wrinkles? Are you working on texture? Do you have results driven facial? Like, what is that? Because confused people do not book. Clear people get paid. So, before we move into the next section, I have to share this with you guys. It's kind of a big deal. I am so excited for this because if you're a business owner, you already know that you're wearing about 10 hats at any given moment. And one thing I hear from estheticians all the time is that they're working constantly and still feel like they can't get ahead. I mean, there's gaps in their schedules, clients who don't rebook, and you're losing money to processing fees and still spending way too much time in admin instead of actually with your clients. When you're running your own practice, you don't have time to figure out where you're leaving money on the table. And that's why Gloss Genius is literally my only recommendation. It's a business management platform that does the work for you. It fills your calendar, rebooks clients automatically, helps you increase your average ticket without doing more work, and has the lowest flat rate payment processing fee. And all the admin stuff, confirmations, follow ups, forms, and waivers runs on its own while you're with your next client. Gloss Genius grows your revenue, handles the busy work so you can actually focus on your clients. If you're ready to simplify your life, I want you to go to glossgenius.com and use the code EIB to get 50% off your first 2 months of the gold or platinum plan. Gloss Genius, more growth, less busy work. All right, so let's talk about part 3, the conversion. You can't hint your way into a fully booked schedule. You have to be very serious about what you want. And this is something I personally been working on where I've been like, okay, this is what I want you to do, right? You need a clear call to action every single time. Stop assuming people are just going to book. You have to straight up tell them, hey, I have 2 facials opening this weekend. DM me for the opening. DM me facial and I'll send you my booking link. Like, you don't have to ask. You have to ask or they're not going to act. It's like when you tell a child, to do something, if you don't give them directions, they're not going to know what to do. Adults are the same way. We're just big toddlers that majority of us can control our emotions better. My husband says all the time, if I was an adult that has emotional regulation, he feels like I would act just like my 2.5-year-old, especially when I'm tired or I'm hungry, my blood sugar's freaking out, I get hurt. He's like, if you couldn't control it, I feel like you'd act like that. And I'm like, 100%. Because that's how I want to act sometimes, right? You have to remember that people need to be treated in a way that gives them directions. When they have to guess around, they're not going to do anything. We live in a microwave society, right? So let's talk about part 4. This is the traditional versus non traditional marketing. Okay. This is where a lot of people go wrong because they think getting clients means just posting on Instagram. And that is one, big caps, one form of marketing. This is not the only form of marketing. Now, let me tell you, if you are a digital marketing business, if you are somebody who sells digital products like a course or coaching or something like that, primarily you are going to be on social media because you can work with everybody everywhere, right? But even then, I would hope that you would be pulling people to an email so you actually own the list, right? But anyways, you work in a local business. You are a service-based business. I told you this was going to be hardcore, so don't come at me, okay? I want you guys to like this podcast. Like it, share it, all the things, but just love me through this because I'm loving you through this. This may be for somebody who needs to hear it. But anyways, if you are a local based business, you need to be asking for referrals. You need to be having partnerships, local networking, word of mouth, talking during appointments if wanted, right, about what you offer. You need to be talking about word of mouth. Like, you really need to get people out there because you're seeing clients every day and not talking about your services to other people is wild, okay? You need to be getting your name out there. And let me tell you, if you do not have clients, you have time to do these things. So even think about local partnerships. And when you think of local partnerships, be like hairstylists, massage therapists, people like maybe you could leave like an entry box into their suite, their business, something where you could be giving away to work with their clients. Maybe it's giving your hairstylist a facial. Maybe it would be like talking to a local influencer, giving them a free facial, giving them a free service, and having them go live or something during their service. These are all tangible things that you can do to get your name out there. I personally love networking groups. I love a BNI as long as you're able to be active in them and you find a good one. I love partnerships. I love vendor events. I love those things that are going to get you in front of your your people locally because the local people are the people who are going to come and see you, not people in Germany. Okay. So you need to make sure that you are showing up locally. And that is technically your traditional marketing. That is what that looks like. Non traditional marketing is typically your Instagram contact, reels, sometimes email marketing. I feel like email marketing and website SEO and stuff like that, that can be your traditional, non traditional. But I want you to realize that like traditional marketing is your online scalable things plus scalable. So booking systems, follow-ups, things along those lines. Posting without a strategy is just digital journaling, okay? You're just going to be journaling what's going on in your life, what's going on in your business on social media. But if you don't have a strategy, how are you going to get there? Right. So you need to have both things. You need to have your traditional and your non traditional. Now, let me tell you, I have people all the time like, "Oh, became booked out on Instagram." Yes, how consistent were you? Were you constantly consistent? Did you already have a following? Like, what does that look like? Did you go viral? Did you work with an influencer? I have a friend who she built her business exclusively on Instagram and she was going to teach Instagram. But the thing is, she blew up on Instagram because she worked with a local influencer. And she's currently still stuck at the same number that she was at in followers. So she's been at this follower level for stage or whatever number for the last like 6 years. Because 6 years ago, she went a little viral. What do I mean, think it was 6 years ago? It's probably like 4 years ago. She went like kind of viral because her friend was a local influencer and posted about her. Yes, she got a ton of clients from there, but she had that local connection. So you have to remember it is two sides of things, traditional and non traditional. And honestly, I talk about this and I teach this in my estheticians and business course. I talk to you about it in the book Solid Framework, which is the course. And I just teach you. I teach you how to create a business. I teach you how to create a business that gets you clients, right? I teach you all of that. So, here are some kind of tangible shifts you can do, okay? I want you to focus on places that you're going to want to work in. So, if you're like, I have time to do local networking in a networking group once a week, do it and post consistently, okay? Start a conversation. You also have to remember too, when you're thinking about emails or content or Instagram, Facebook, whatever, content should be leading somewhere. It's not just to sit there looking pretty. So you have that call to action there too. So honestly, the magic happens when you're using both of these things. So a system like this would be client comes in, you educate them, you plant a referral seed. You follow up with your appointment, you post those results online. Their friend sees it, hears about you, and that's how you build this momentum that's going to be getting you clients. Okay. Literally, I want you to think about using the same piece of content or same piece of stuff everywhere. So, like, I have a partnership with a lot of people in my Facebook group, right? And the cool thing is about it is that whenever I have like people who want to do a collaboration with me, I'm able to take that Facebook Live, I make it into my podcast, then I make it into like Facebook posts, I make it into emails, I make it into Instagram carousels. I use ManyChat. So I have so many ways of using this one piece of content to be shared across, right? And that's visibility. People do not remember things you've talked about in the past. They just don't. So I just want you to think about that whenever you are considering like showing up. It's showing up consistently over and over and over again. Just show up, okay? And honestly, most of the time, we don't have a client problem. You may have like a consistency problem. You may not know who you're talking to kind of problem, right? You may not know what your call to action is, what your niche is. So I want you to make it easy on yourself. Create a system. Okay. 3 posts in a week, 5 to 10 conversations with people that could be in person DMs, follow ups, maybe one direct booking post. Okay. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. So today, I want you to post something that leads to a booking. I want you to start one real life conversation about services. And that alone will put you ahead of majority of estheticians. Because yes, we are a very saturated industry, but we're very saturated industry with a lot of people who don't know what they're doing because they won't invest in learning how to do it. So here I am trying to teach you. But anyways, I hope this was helpful, guys. I hope you still love me and you didn't unfollow or whatever you do on like podcasts. It's funny, I show up and I really don't 100% know how podcasts work, but I love it because I get to reach a different group of people that may never see me on social media, right? Who may never see me in my emails. So, anyways, guys, if you need help or support, you always can reach me. And that made me think of, like, the Kim Possible song. Was it "Reach Me, beat me if you wanna reach me," something like that. Anyway, if you want to do that, you can always reach me on Instagram at Estheticians in Business. You can always, always, always Facebook group, anything like that. The Facebook group is Estheticians in Business. You'll find me on Facebook. Anyways, you can always do that. Also, I'm gonna link my Book Solid bundle, the Estheticians in Business marketing course is in there. Guys, it's seriously a game changer, game changer. If you're in my newsletter, I share weekly wins. And so I'm super excited for that. But, anyways, love you guys. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.